In the tech world, old software is supposed to, well, die, right? But what if it didn't? What if its own users just refused to let it go? That's exactly what we're talking about today. This is the absolutely wild survival story of a piece of software called $Universe.
So let's just park on that quote for a second. If customers are happy, why change? I mean, think about that. That one simple question, asked right after a huge corporate buyout, didn't just save some old software. Nope, it gave it a whole new lease on life. Okay, so what is this thing, Universe? Well, at its heart, it's a workload automation tool. Basically, it's a scheduler. It tells computer systems, hey, run this job now, then run that job. Pretty simple, right? But trust me, the story behind it is anything but simple.
This thing has been around since the 90s, but then it got caught in this corporate tornado. First, Atomic bought it, then CA Technologies snapped it up, and finally, in 2018, it landed with Broadcom. I mean, can you imagine? With that much bouncing around, nobody knew if it would even survive.
And yeah, the plan was pretty clear. Kill it off. The strategy was to move every single user to a totally different platform, something called One Automation. By 2025, Universe was supposed to be toast. Game over.
But then something kind of crazy happened. Broadcom did something pretty radical. They, talked to the customers, and what they found blew them away. People didn't just like Universe, they loved it. So, in a move you almost never see, they slammed on the brakes, did a complete 180, and promised to keep developing it for as long as people were using it.
Wow. Which brings us to the big question, right? What is so special about this tool? What made its users basically stand up and say, no way, you're not taking this from us? Well, here's the thing. The answer isn't some flashy, newfangled feature. It's something much deeper. It's baked right into its DNA, a core architectural philosophy that makes it fundamentally different from pretty much everything else out there. Okay, look at this. This explains it all. On the left, you've got your typical scheduler. It's centralized. Think of it like a queen bee in a hive. If the queen goes down, the whole hive grinds to a halt. Total chaos. But Universe, on the right, it's peer-to-peer. It's completely decentralized. There is no queen bee.
And what that means is huge. There's no single point of failure. So if one computer, or heck, even the entire network connection between them goes down, the other machines just keep on trucking. They keep doing their jobs. Now, if your business depends on these jobs running 24/7, that kind of resilience isn't just nice to have, it's everything.
So how does this all work in practice? Let's peel back the layers and look at the engine. It really all boils down to 5 really simple but super powerful building blocks. First up, you have the Uproc. Don't let the name scare you. It's just a unit procedure. Think of it as a container for whatever script or command you need to run. It's the what. What is the job we need to do? Okay, so you've got your what. Now you need the how. That's where a session comes in. A session is what strings all those Uprocs together into a workflow. It says, do this first, then do that, but only if the first thing succeeded. It's the logic. So we have what to do and how to do it. Next up is when. That's the task. The task is the schedule. It can be super simple, like run this at 2 a.m. every night. Or it can be event-driven, like run this the instant a new file shows up in this folder. Now this is clever. For the where, you don't point your job at a specific server like server 123. Instead, you point it to a logical name called a management unit. Why is that cool? Because you can move your workloads around from one server to another or from on-prem to the cloud without having to rewrite a single job. It's super flexible. And last but not least, we have the lifecycle. This is managed by something called areas. This is how you safely move a job from an idea to reality. You build it in the development area, test it in the test area, and then promote it to the live production area when it's ready. It's a built-in safety net. And that's the whole shebang. Those 5 things, the what, the how, the when, the where, and the lifecycle, they all work together. They let you build these complete automated processes that are not only easy to manage, but because of that decentralized architecture, are incredibly tough to break. So remember, Broadcom promised to keep this thing alive. But they're not just letting it sit there and collect dust. No way. What's so cool is that they're taking this battle-tested, super resilient architecture and are bolting on a ton of modern features to get it ready for the future.
And their roadmap for version 7 is really impressive. It's built on 4 big ideas. First, admin and install. They're putting it in Docker containers, which makes life way easier for admins. Second, design and plan. They're adding stuff like native web service jobs for modern apps. Third, delivery and DevOps. Hello, Git and GitHub integration. You can finally version control your jobs. And fourth, operations. They're adding awesome features like bulk change, so you can update hundreds of jobs in one shot. That's a huge time saver.
Okay, so let's be real. There are a million shiny new tools out there. Why on earth would a modern DevOps engineer or a sysadmin even give this thing a second look today?
Well, here's its secret weapon: compatibility. It can run jobs on the absolute latest Windows Server or Red Hat Linux. But it can also run jobs on ancient legacy systems like AIX, HPUX, and Solaris. You know, the ones that are still secretly running the most important parts of a company. It's a bridge between the past and the present.
So if you take away one thing, it's this: that decentralized design, it's actually perfect for the messy hybrid cloud world we live in now. And this thing isn't a museum piece. It's getting modernized with Docker, Git, and APIs. At the end of the day, it gives you one single, super reliable place to control your entire IT world, from the oldest mainframe in the basement to the newest serverless function in the cloud.
And that kind of leaves us with a big thought, doesn't it? In an industry that's obsessed with what's new and what's next, maybe, just maybe, the real secret to survival isn't being the newest. Maybe it's about being the toughest, the most resilient. Something to think about.